Good morning, Internet. This is Alex does Sudokus, and it is Monday, the 31st of August 2020. We have another hard New York Times Sudoku for you today, and let me hit the transition and dive right in. In actuality, it's actually Sunday night, but basically New York Times opens their Sudokus early on a Sunday night, so I thought I'd give that a go. So doing the Snyder Notations, we can already spot a 1 over here, and let's see, what else can we do? That's probably, oh, there's a pair of 1s up there, thanks to that 1, and I think that's all the 1s we can do, so we've got a pair of 2s here, thanks to these 2s, and a pair of 2s over here, thanks to that 2, and I think that's all we can do with the 2s, so let's have a look at the 3s. We've got a pair of 3s over there, and let's see, pair of 3s over here, thanks to these 3s, so that's another pair of pointed 3s over here. Can we do more with 3s? Not that I can see, so let's have a look at 4s, and 4s, we have a pair of 4s there, thanks to those 2 4s, and these 2 4s locks a pair of 4s over there, and these 4s locks a pair of 4s in the corners. I think that's all we can do with 4s, so let's have a look at 5s then. 5s, can't do a lot with 5s, so let's have a look at 6s then. 6s, we've got corners thanks to these 6s. Let's see. Oh, still I can do 6s. Looks like it. So 7s. I'm getting a bit of deja vu here because again we've got some empty cages near the bottom, but let's see how we get on. 7s. These 2 7 and that 7 pins a pair, and these 2 7s locks a 7 here thanks to that 7 over there, and now they lock a pair of 7s over here. 7 7 7 7 7. I think that's all we can do. So what about 8s? Well, we've got a pair of 8s here thanks to those 8s, so that pushes a 6 out, and that 6 also helps us pin a pair of 6s there because of these 2 6s, and that 6 lined it up. So that's created a triple here, and the 9 sees into it, so the 9 is locked in that cell over there, which leaves us with 1s and 5s. So that leaves us with another triple here, but we actually have 4 numbers that can go in, so they are 3, 4, 8, and 3, 4, 8, and 7. 3, 4, 8, and 7. We've got 4, 7 here, so that's 3 and 8. Got 4 there, so that's 3, 7, and 8. And this cell can be any of them, so that's not very useful. So what were we on? We want 8s. So can we do any more with 8s? Not that I can see, so what about 9s? We've got a pair of 9s here, and that 9 locks a pair of 9s there. Let's see, these 2 9s and that 9 locks another pair of 9s over there. 9s. 9 9. So we've got a pair of 9s there thanks to that 9 and that 9, which means we've got another pair of 9s over here. So 9s, I think that's all I can do with the 9s. So have we got any more weak areas we can tackle? We have one here with a triple, which are 1, 3, and 5. I can see a 1 here, so that's 3 and 5. We can't see any of the numbers, so that's 1, 3, and 5, 1 and 5. So that's not very useful either. We have 3, 2, and 8 in here, so that's season 8. So that's 2 and 3, that's 2, 3, and 8, and that's 2 and 8 because we can see a 3 there. So not useful just yet. 2, 3, 8. Right, so there's an interesting pattern on this column here. This could develop into a technique in the future. So let's have a look at this column, why that's special. We've got 4 numbers outside a cage on this column, so that leaves me 2 cells on the outside, and it just so happened that these 4 digits are not repeated within the cage. So in essence, on this column, in these 3 cells, we can actually see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the numbers, which is useful because that means I have a triple here, and that can possibly be resolvable. And also the 1s and 6s can't go in these 3 cells, so they have to be on the outside, but we can't resolve them either. So, but at least we've got a triple here, which are 7s, 3s, and 2s. So let's see, so that's 2 and 3, and that's 2, 2, 7, 2. So that's a triple of 2, 7, 2, 2 3s, and 2, 7, and 3 because of this column lining up perfectly. So that's interesting. So basically that means that can't be a 3 anymore. And also, no, hold on. Let's see. Why did I have a 3 there before? 3, yeah, that can't be a 3 either because of the pointer pair of 3s. Therefore, that has to be a 3 now because, yes, so that leaves me with a pair of 2s and 7s. And these are still not resolved, whereas 1s and 6s. I've got another pair here, which are 2s and 8s. Still can't, oh, well, that can't be a 2 because I've got the pair of 2s in there. So that's got to be an 8. And that's got to be a 2, which is useful because that 2 looks up, giving us a pair of 2s locked in there, pushes out the 3, and that locks another pair of 3s here, thanks to these 3s. And the 3s are also, no, there's a 3 in there. So, does that help me at all? So there's a single there, which is a 5, and that 5... it's going to help me lock another pair of 5s over there. Anything else? No. So, got another pair here, which are 1s and 5s. So I think 5s goes in these cells. Okay, so it's probably worth... have we got any more weak areas developing? So, let's see. So, I think this cell is interesting because of the 4 numbers here. These 3 numbers are shared in these 4 cells. So 4, 7 and 9, 4, 7 and 9 have to go in these 3 cells. So what's left here, that's left an 8, so that's a naked single actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep, and 9, which means that's now an 8, which unlocks the 4 and 9 over there, and that unlocks the 4 and 9 over here, which pushes the 5 in there. So I've got a 5 down here, and these 2 5s locks a 5 in there, resolving the 3, and also resolving the 1 5 pair because of the 5. So that's now got to be the 5 and 1, which resolves the 2 and 1 over there. So that unlocks a pair of 2s down there because of these 2s, and this is a triple of 6, 2 and 9, so have to be over there because I've got a pointer pair of 2s there, which means that's a 6 and that's a 1, so that's no longer 6, and that 1 gives us a pair of 1s over there and a pair of 1s over here as well. So I've got a quadruple of 3 4s, 2 3 4 and 7, 3 4 and 7, so that's got to be the, no, hold on, 2 3, sorry, 2 3 7 and 8. Oh, that was close, so that's no use for us. Now what about here? We can see 4 and 8, so what are we looking for? 3 4 8, 3 4 8 and 7. I've got 4 7 and 8, so that's got to be a 3 then. 3 4 8 and 7, yep, so that's a 3, which means 3s are locked in here anyway, and it also means 3s are locked in those cells. In fact, I've got a triple here, which are 1 3 and 1 3 and 4. Well, 4's got to go there, so that's got to be a 1 now, because I have a 3 4 pair, so that resolves the 1 and 9, and these must give me another 9 over here, so the 9 7 pair are resolved, so that locks a pair of 7s over there, but we also have 7s over here, 2 5 7 and 8, so 8s are up there, so they're not actually resolved just yet, but that's okay. We've got 2 9, and I've got 2 9 there already, so this must be, let's see, 2 9 and 8, so that's got to be an 8 now, because I'm looking for 2 9 and 8, so that's a 9, so that's a 2, that's a 9, that's a 2. So these are now 3s and 6s, I think. Yep, 3s and 6s. 6s are not locked down just yet. 2 and 5. So these are 2 5 and 2 5 and 6, right? Yeah, can't resolve them just yet. And I've got people shouting outside my door, outside my window on a Sunday night. Always a pleasure. Don't know why I said that, but anyway, lost my chain of thought now, got slightly distracted, but basically 6s can be in any of those cells, so what should I be looking at? Looking at this? I've already looked at that, haven't I? 2 5 and 6. Something's not right here, I have a feeling. 2 5 and 8. Yeah, 2 5 and 8 is correct. Oh, that's weird. I must be missing something, so let's see. 2s, 2 2 2 2. Oh yeah, so that 2 actually unlocks that 2, which resolves the 2s and a 5, which means 6 goes in there, 6 and 3 resolved, so 4 and 3 resolved, so that locks a 4 in there thanks to those 4s, and these are now 7s and 8s, which means the 8 must be locked in that cell, which resolves the 2 5 and 7, which in turn resolves the 2 and 7 over there, and that resolves the 8 and the 4, and that's a 7, and we're now left with 6 here and 5 there, and that is today's hard New York Times Sudoku. So I've kind of bucked the trend a little bit there with spotting an interesting pattern, so I'll be sure to commit that to my kind of playbook, I suppose. But yeah, that's what I like about Sudoku at my level, I suppose, because I haven't got kind of a full repository of all the techniques that I can use at the moment, and it's actually quite fun looking for patterns rather than just kind of doing eliminations, essentially. So yeah, I hope that has been interesting and useful. If you do find it helpful, please like and subscribe, and otherwise I shall see you guys tomorrow. Bye!